Following a week of violence, cities and towns in the UK are on high alert. Police say they are bracing for more than 100 possible events and 30 counter-protests tonight. It started with a stabbing rampage that left 3 young girls dead in the seaside community of Southport. A 17-year-old born in Wales whose parents are from Rwanda has been charged with the crimes. However, the violence sparked due to the spread of misinformation about the suspect, who was falsely identified as a Muslim immigrant. Rioters spouting anti-immigrant slogans attacked mosques and hotels housing asylum seekers, with reports emerging of violent counterattacks in some communities. And just today, the Liverpool Crown Court sentenced 3 men to jail time after they admitted to being part of the violence. And joining us now from London is Joanna Bogle, an author, historian, and EWTN contributor. Joanna, thanks so much for making the time for us today. We really do appreciate it. So what has been the reaction to these riots in Britain?
Everyone is appalled, of course, at rioting, bashing the police, and setting fire to a mosque. I mean, it's appalling, absolutely ghastly. The general reaction among normal, friendly, civilized folk is, this is all wrong. This is absolutely all wrong. Of course, it's ghastly.
I know there have been questions over the origins of the disinformation that has come out. Do we know if it started in Britain or did it come from elsewhere?
I don't think there's any particular evidence that there's, sort of any conspiracy from outside. I think one difficulty is that there is a good deal of resentment among all sorts of people, but especially among angry people who have nothing much else in their lives and so on, over the very high level of Islamic immigration over the last 20 or so years. So anything that feeds into that is going to be unpleasant. Also, hot weather, people with nothing much to do with their lives. I don't think you have to look for sources of disinformation. You can sense a very unpleasant and febrile atmosphere, which is not there among most decent folk who want to get on with everyone. Most folks like to get on with folks. I don't think one should, however, look further than there is a tension, especially in some cities where people who don't have much to live by because they're not Christian, the church seems very remote from most people, and where family life breaks down. More boys and girls are born out of wedlock than in. Lots of people don't have a sense of a family structure that keeps you well behaved and on good terms with the neighbours who also have a family structure. Where that's going, you get bad behaviour. I don't think you need to look very far to sort of see how something that can be fanned into flames is fanned, because the normal things that keep a well behaved are not there.
Absolutely. Joanna, do you see any signs of the tensions kind of, tampering down a bit?
I don't know what's going to happen next. I think it would be good if the Prime Minister and others, and he's in a position to do something, I'm not, you're not, appeal to our sense of patriotism, of being British. We can make a go of this. We really can. We are a nation that's been going for many years. There's been a very high level of immigration. There's a lot of tension about that, but we are a great nation with a long history, and we should appeal to that sense of nationhood. We had the coronation last year. We have something to hold on to that is big, but nobody tells that to a lot of men in Britain. They get a soppy version that somehow, masculinity is toxic, Britain's history is toxic. That's got to go. If I were Prime Minister, I would make a call to our splendid nation's history, our sense of togetherness, and the fact that we can make a go of this wonderful country.
Well, Joanna, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your insights with us. We're praying for everybody over there, praying for peace, and most importantly, praying for those little victims and ones in the hospital as well. Joanna, thank you so much, and God bless you.
God bless you.